Well, hello and welcome to another video by Financial Learning. On today's video, I'd like to talk to you about CleanSpark, the Bitcoin mining company. I'd like to start off by talking about the purchase price for some of those miners they disclosed in their 10K. I'd like to talk about some of the stats behind those miners. Then I'd like to jump over to their all-in operating cost to mine each of those Bitcoin, and then get an estimated profit margin, and then jump into the November mining update, as well as some of their other operational updates. So without further ado, let's get right into it. So starting from the 10K, I did share this in my 10K overview, but I wanted to spend a little bit more time here because I think it's important as they continue on month by month to really focus in on those miners and how those are going to help expand their exahash rate. So again, based off of these commitments and contingencies, you can actually figure out what they paid for that bulk volume pricing for those different miners. So for those S21 Pros, the average cost of those was $3,744 per miner. And then the S21 XP, that's the immersion style. So this is the more efficient version. They use immersion cooling instead of air cooling. They paid about $6,450 per miner. All right, so taking a look at these immersion cooled miners a little bit further, you can see here at the bottom, this is from the Bitmain website. You can see this S21 IMM. This is what is actually called out in the press release between CleanSpark and Bitmain. They talk a little bit about looking at this current model versus the original year one model, if you will. You can see they have about a 25.5% increase in percent of hash rate, and then also a reduction in energy costs, or that energy efficiency ratio, coming in at 15.6%. So pay close attention to those percentages as we continue on. All right, before we talk about those percentages, that's going to actually have to do with the November mining update, I wanted to take a little bit of time to talk about this all-in Bitcoin mining. So again, this is from their 10K, this excerpt here, and then these are the per Bitcoin amounts. So each Bitcoin, what's actually costing the company. They break it down just looking at the energy costs, coming in about $21,401, and this is as of September 30th, 2024. So as their fleet efficiency continues to increase, which is going to be a reduction in the joules per terahash, you're going to notice a reduction in the cost to mine that Bitcoin. However, as they upgrade their miners, there will be an increase in the cost of each of those miners. You can see the difference in price per miner looking at the immersion style versus the air cool style. And you can see that's going to play a factor when you look at the miner depreciation per Bitcoin mined. So you're going to see that coming in at 17,156, and then there's also an accelerated depreciation per Bitcoin mine, an additional 1,170. So again, as of September 30th, based off of the current Bitcoin mining fleet that they had and their current fleet efficiencies and power costs, it cost them a total of $39,936 for each Bitcoin mined. So looking at the November average price of Bitcoin mined, it was $84,356 per Bitcoin. So looking at that and taking this revenue, this all-in cost as a percent of revenue, it's about 47%. So that puts them at about 53% of profit margin per Bitcoin mined. So let's go ahead and jump into the November mining numbers. All right, and looking at their press release they put out on December 3rd, this is for the November month ending mining information. So first thing definitely worth noting is the total Bitcoin mine coming in at 622. Again, based off of that 10K information on their cost to mine each Bitcoin, you can calculate, and of course this is an estimate just based off of some of the efficiencies that were provided for the September end. They were able to get $27.6 million of profit. And then looking through some of their other numbers, calendar year 2024, they Bitcoin mined 6,356. Total Bitcoin HODL by the end of November was 9,297. Bitcoin sold in November at 26.11, which means they were taking advantage of these higher price of Bitcoin. So with higher revenue of Bitcoin mined means much better in terms of gross profit margin. So again, smart move by CleanSpark to take advantage of some of the Bitcoin they're mining in order to help pay for maybe some of the G&A or some of the other expense lines. Moving on, deployed fleet at 195,059, month-end fleet efficiency at 19.05 joules per terahash, and then month-end operating hash rate at 33.7 exahash per second. So based off of their total fleet and based off of the amount of Bitcoin mined, you can go ahead and calculate that it took about 313 miners per Bitcoin to mine, and then about 0.0032 Bitcoin was mined per month per miner. So besides that, I also have the September ending operational data. I went ahead and used this because this is, of course, what you can find on that 10K release as well. But if you look at the fleet efficiency back in September, it was at 21.94 joules per terahash. So it's about a 15% efficiency improvement. Just from September to November. And then month-end operating hash rate back in September was 27.6 exahash per second, which is a 22% hash rate improvement looking at their November numbers. So again, they're doing a much better job in terms of efficiency. Just looking at some of the efficiency percentages here, I have a feeling that they are getting some of the second gen S21 immersion miners up and running. Could be wrong, but just based off of some of the percent increases, it definitely looks like they are definitely putting some advanced hardware in their mining fleet. And then there's some additional updates, but before we get into that, just wanted to point out again, the average Bitcoin mine in the month of November is 84,356, and that was used in order to calculate what the profit came in at for the month of November. So I want to go ahead and first start out with a quote from CEO Zach Bradford. He says that 2 turnkey Bitcoin mining sites near Clinton, Mississippi have been completed and are expected to be fully operational, providing an added 1 exahash per second by the end of this week. So by the end of December 3rd week, which would have been this past Friday. And expected expansion projects in Tennessee to go live by mid-month, paired with their ongoing upgrades, so their minor upgrades, will bring them over their year-end target of 37 exahash per second. And then this is what I really like. He does state here, we have our eyes on 2025, and our plan is to continue beyond the 50 exahash per second in the coming quarters. Not coming years, coming quarters, folks. So looking at some of the other opportunities they do have, they already mentioned the Clinton, Mississippi, but looking at that Cheyenne, Wyoming location, this is for 2 immersion cooled Bitcoin mining data centers for a total of 75 megawatts. Once that station is fully energized and operational with those latest and greatest generation of the S21 immersion XPs, they have an additional estimated 5 exahash per second. So if they beat that 37 exahash per second by the end of the year, and then they get this additional 5, they are going to already be very close to that 50 exahash per second goal that they have for 2025. So I'm looking forward to seeing some additional updates. Hopefully at the end of December, we'll get that update come first week in January for their mining numbers. And again, this is going to be another quarter ending. It should be a great quarter in terms of revenue with the Bitcoin mining costs, mining price the way it is right now. Their cost of revenue or cost of mining compared to revenue, it's going to be very nice, above 50%, as long as the Bitcoin cost stays up as it is right now. So I am very much looking forward to seeing from an operational standpoint, from a revenue and profit margin standpoint, how they're able to finish this Q1 for fiscal year 25. All right, and that wraps it up for me, folks. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, consider giving it a like. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Drop a comment. Let me know your thoughts about CleanSpark Inc., the Bitcoin mining company. What other kind of content would you like to see me cover for them or for other stock out there? And with all that said, hope you all have a great rest of the day, and I'll see you on the next one.